back with another video. Just going to do a bit of a ramble today, I think, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you all have a really good one with your families. Hope everybody has a really good New Year. I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been quite busy really. I was a bit ill. I think I did a video after that. Yeah, I did actually. And then I went on holiday. So I went to Belgium with the missus for the Christmas markets, which were, I mean, I'm not really into Christmas that much, and I'm really not into Christmas markets, but, you know, was doing it for brownie points because the missus loves all that kind of stuff, and I have to say that theirs were a lot better than ours. They've sort of converted me, to be honest, a bit more chilled out than ours, you know, like as packed in like sardines, and also like all the food and drink and stuff is just way better than the ones that you get at our markets. So yeah, that was really good. Also managed to get to a game whilst I was out there. Figured if we were going for the markets for her, then she kind of had to do something nice for me as well. So we got last minute tickets to Club Bruges versus Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League, which was absolutely amazing. That was my first ever Champions League game actually, so yeah, really loved that. Club Bruges got a last minute winner, so yeah, it was a pretty electric atmosphere. Got goosebumps when they did the Champions League anthem at the beginning, so yeah, really cool. So that was really awesome. I'll probably do a bit of a ramble on Man United now, so I think it's been quite a few weeks since I last did a video. I'll start with the ownership. I'm firmly now Ineos out as well as Glazers out. I hate Jim Ratcliffe, can't stand him, think he's absolutely awful. Yeah, I mean, getting rid of Dan Ashworth is just a shit show. That's just an absolute and utter shit show. I don't know what they're thinking. From what I understand, you know, they don't like some of the things that Dan Ashworth has done, but the primary thing for Ratcliffe is Ashworth has refused to sack people, and Ratcliffe just wants to sack people as quickly as possible. So he's just a scumbag, isn't he? So you know, he's a billionaire, so what do you expect? He's a billionaire. These people don't typically make their money from making really ethical decisions, do they? So yeah, he can go for me, but that's a massive loss for us. Dan Ashworth, you know, regarded as maybe the best sporting director in the country, and we've lost him now, so that's an absolute nightmare. I am bringing this to you after we've just lost to Bournemouth at home. So results are pretty mixed at the minute under Amorim, as are performances. Positives, I really like the manager. I really like Amorim. I think he's really trying to do something. You can see this. He has a defined style of play, and I think that you can actually see this starting to take effect, more so than what you saw with Ten Hag. I do think that you can see a distinct style of play. There's obviously players that are doing better than others in this system. Obviously Ahmad is doing really well. I know Mazraoui's given away a penalty today, but I think Mazraoui's been very good under Amorim. I think that Ugarte is starting to come into his own a bit. I think that De Ligt is looking pretty good, to be honest. Højlund is looking, Højlund's looking quite good. And Bruno, I guess. And that's probably where it stops for now. So, you know, that's obviously not super promising, is it, when you're only naming sort of 4 or 5 players out of an entire squad. I do like him. I think we've got to give him time. Got to we've got to sign players, but we're so tight on PSR that I don't expect any additions in January. I think that, you know, we've got the FA Cup, we've got the Europa, and the Premier League is done. I think the target, I said this in one of the first videos, the target needs to be trying to finish in the top 10 in the Premier League. That's what the ambition needs to be. They need to put their full weight behind the Europa League and hope that we can do something special there. There aren't many great teams in the Europa League at all. They really need to go for that and see what happens in the FA Cup. And that's it for this season, and they just need to get to the summer. They just really need to get to the summer and yes, see what happens, see what money can be spent. But the whole club's in absolute shambles. Marcus Rashford, that situation. I think it's the right thing for him to go. I really do think it's the right thing. You know, he's been poor for the last 2 seasons now. For most of his career, Rashford, he's not been great. He had one excellent season. I think he's had 2 very, very good seasons. And that's it. He's been bang average or shit his other seasons, and he's been going for a decade. So, you know, I don't really buy all this talk about people like, oh, he's having a slump. That 30-goal season is a huge outlier in Rashford's 10-year career. He hasn't done anything remotely like that in any of his other seasons. So, you know, and he's the highest paid player at the club. The highest paid player. So, what do you do with that? You know? But who's going to take him? I genuinely can't see. How do you offload him? No one's going to pay him 325 grand a week. He's got another 4.5 years on his contract. No, sorry. 3.5 years. He's got another 3.5 years on his contract. No one's giving him 325 grand a week. So, you know, we would have to supplement some of that. There is rumours that Man United are looking for a £40 million fee. Now, that's not going to happen. And you're going to have to supplement his wages even more. What do I think is realistic that a club in Europe or an English club might pay for Marcus Rashford? £20 million on 150 grand a week. I think that'd be reasonable. And I think there'd be clubs out there that do that. But you know, that would mean that Man United would need to subsidise 175 grand a week. So like the club pays him 150 grand and Man U pay 175 grand. So we lose him on an actual transfer and we pay more of his wages than his new club do. That's never going to happen. That's absolutely mental. So then you get into a realm of like, okay, so, you know, would we accept £10 million as a transfer fee and a club agrees to bump up his wages to 250 grand a week? Well, we're still subsidising some of his wages there. It is a mess. I genuinely can't see him leaving other than on loan. I really cannot see Marcus Rashford leaving for a transfer. Barcelona, no chance. They can't afford him. Real Madrid, why would they want him? No chance. Bayern Munich, can't see that with the players that they've got. I just can't see it. PSG, the Athletic are reporting that all of that talk has been quelled. I know that Leonardo was a big fan of his, or was it the owner? It might have been the Sheikh. But that's they've already Liverpool won't want him. They were talking about Arsenal on the overlap. I can't see that. The reality is, I'm totally agreeing with Jamie Carragher. He isn't good enough. Like, he genuinely isn't good enough. Adding to that his behavioural problems. Now, what I do want to say here, by the way, is I like Marcus Rashford a lot as a person. I'm in complete awe of him. The things that he's done outside of football. I think he's a great person. His behaviour in the last couple of years has disappointed me, with the lateness, with calling in sick after being on the piss for 2 nights in Belfast. That's outrageous. That should never be happening. So, Marcus hasn't helped himself, but footballers are human beings at the end of the day. It doesn't make me dislike him or hate him or anything silly like that. But he has let himself down. But really good people do let themselves down. Do you know what I mean? I'm not his judge, jury, and executioner. I do really like him, but this is football, and I think he has to go. But I don't think there's a market for him. Somebody might take him on loan though, with Man United heavily subsidising his wages, and I think that's what it'll have to come to in the summer. If not, maybe even January. That may happen in January. So yeah, we'll have to see on that front. It's just wild times at Man United. It's not getting easier, is it? The most disappointing thing for Man United under Amorim's tenure so far is set pieces. We are conceding goals every single game from set pieces. I know it's early days, but I really think they've got to bite the bullet. They need to get a specialist set piece. I'll put my teeth back in. They need to get a specialist set piece coach in. They really need to get. Arsenal are the best in the world at scoring from set pieces, and they've got the envy of the world in their set piece coach that Arteta worked with at City as well. Man United haven't got a specialist set piece. I can't say it. Specialist set piece coach. We need to go and get one, because whoever's coaching these lads, it's not working. Xerxes today. Xerxes what, 6'3", is he? Maybe 6'4". That was absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Just basic desire. He is so big that nobody should ever be getting a free header against him. But he needs to be touch tight and jumping in the air with him. And if you get headbutted, you get headbutted, mate. Just grow a pair. That was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, and then Mazraoui gives away a penalty. That was bad. It was really bad. That Mazraoui has been good in every single game under Amorim, whether it's at wing back or at right centre back. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I'm really not. He's been Man United's overall probably Man United's best player, other than Ahmad under Amorim. So these things do happen. And then you're already 2-0 down, and they get their tail up, don't they? And so just a mess, just an absolute mess. But and then the rest of the league, City are in absolute free fall. Can't say that I'm hating that. I can't say that I am. Pep will turn it round though. He's too good. He's too good. I think it does lay bare their recruitment though. Their recruitment's been so good for years. In reality, I think they've got extremely complacent, and I think they need to go and spend money in January. They've got loads of room, PSR City. Tons of room, PSR. So they need to go and spend money big in January. They don't have any legs. That's the problem, isn't it? They don't have any legs. They've got a very ageing team. I was surprised with the signing of Doku. To be perfectly honest, I think that is a very Savinho is more in line with a Pep player. I think he'll come. I think there are certain similarities between him and Mahrez. I don't think he's anywhere near as good as what we saw from Mahrez, but he's a young player, so he can develop. Nobody creates chances for Haaland. No one ever creates any chances for him. I actually said that, in Haaland's first 2 seasons when City were doing well, they don't create chances for him. Only De Bruyne creates chances for Haaland. And now De Bruyne has been injured or is, getting older. Their whole style of play just is not set up to feed Haaland. And that's a problem, because he's just essentially wasted in that team. I think a lot of people look at it as a Haaland problem. I don't. I really don't. They don't hit the ball in behind for him to run into. It's very, very simple. Just knock it over, let him run. It's not rocket science. That's when he's at his best. But they don't do that. And then they've got loads of injuries as well. And the big problem is Rodri, who is the best player in the world by a mile. So you're always going to miss Rodri. Title race, Liverpool again. I just think they're amazing. They've had a bit of a tough time. I really do think that Robertson is really on the wane, and he's a bit of a liability, and that's a bit of an issue. If they could go and sign another left back in January, I don't think that would be a bad idea. I really don't. They didn't spend anything. They've got tons of money, PSR. Why is Liverpool? So if they maybe went to go and sign a left back, that could be helpful for them to try and get them over the line in the title. Even without that, though, I think they're really good. I think they will still win the league. I don't think Chelsea will catch them, but Chelsea have been doing absolutely fantastic. Fair play to them. And that was about it, guys. That was the only the other thing I was just going to mention was obviously Atletico. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Atletico have managed to just sneak into the top of the league just before Christmas. I watched them versus Barca yesterday. Barca absolutely battered them. I mean, absolutely destroyed them. And somehow, classic Simeone, Atletico managed to win 2-1. So that's interesting. We'll have to see if they manage to keep that up. But Barca do look really good this season, even though they've been dropping points recently. I think they're having a bit of a blip, but I think they might come good. They've got a really good young team, haven't they? Barca, fair play to them. La Masia's doing well again. But yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, and a great New Year, and I'll speak to you soon.